Angela Lee here to the program. ONE FC champ, 5-0 right now professionally. State high school wrestling champion junior year, took second or senior year. I'm looking at your record, and I thought you were a lot older. I didn't realize you're only 19. Like, you're just brand new into the game. Why did you jump in at pro MMA as opposed to going on to college and doing something else?
I've been training mixed martial arts actually ever since I was small. My parents, they both owned mixed martial arts gyms, and I was kind of born and raised on the mat. I chose to jump into amateur MMA as soon as I graduated, as soon as I turned 18, because I kind of just used to competing. I did some pancration, and that was very similar to MMA.
Mm-hmm.
And so the transition was really easy for me. I love how, you can do anything in mixed martial arts, the possibilities and are endless. So yeah, I mean, that's how, I guess that's why I'm doing it. I love it.
So you jumped to 5-0 relatively quickly, and we talk about most folks where, like, how many times you want to fight in a year. You fought 4 times in 2015 to get 4-0, and then 1 time so far in 2016. This will be your second bout, May 6th. Your last one was February 20th. And you are crushing your way through the division. A lot of people are telling you, like, the next big superstar in the women's division as a whole, let alone just at your weight class at 115. How comfortable are you with ONE FC right now, and how long do you see that relationship going?
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's been a crazy year for me. 4 fights in 7 months. I chose to stay really busy, and I have full support from my dad, my head coach, because just how the fights have been going. We go in there, with a game plan, and we execute it. So that's why I was able to, my turnaround time for fights is pretty quick. Also, I wanted to make a big statement here in Asia in ONE Championship. Because I wanted that title shot. I knew they didn't have a women's champion yet, and I really wanted to, be the first. So that's why things have been kind of accelerated. ONE Championship has been great, I'm really happy to be working with them and building that relationship to help, grow the organization. I feel like, Asia has a lot of talent, and it's just, they have so much talent, it's just untouched. I think that in like 3 to 5 years, it's going to be really huge. So I'm really looking forward to doing that and just helping, spread women's MMA through Asia. I mean, the equality, the gender equality over here in Asia is still, not nearly as close to what it is here in America. Really, really hoping to actually make a change, make a difference on that side of the world. And that's what I plan to do.
I talked to Matt Hume a little while ago, the vice president of ONE FC. He's also Demetrius Johnson's head coach. So when Demetrius was getting ready to fight his title fight, I had to talk to Matt for a little bit. And Matt and I know each other from Pride, and he actually echoed the exact same things that you said. That it's just he really, with ONE FC, the reason why I became the vice president is because he feels like Asia is still an untapped market when it comes to MMA. It just seems like that no one really is taking a real hard interest in it, and as a result, ONE FC was able to do that, fill that space, and now they're exploding, and they are literally taking over Asia because they're okay with tapping unknown, unnamed talent and also making them superstars. So, living in Hawaii and coming from Hawaii, it makes it very easy for you to get over to Asia to fight, but you also spend half your training camp in Singapore too, correct?
Yes, that's correct. So I train at Evolve MMA in Singapore, as well as United MMA here in Hawaii. I'm lucky enough to be part of 2 amazing gyms. So I spend usually half my fight camp preparation here in Hawaii, and then I fly up to Singapore because it's closer for the fights in Asia. Right. However, this time around it's going to be flipped, and I'm finishing off my camp here with my dad.
So why the flip this time as opposed to starting in Hawaii and finishing in Singapore?
I just feel, it's only natural, it's only right for me to kind of, prepare for the biggest fight of my life, with the man who's brought me up and trained me all these years. And, I feel extremely confident training under my dad that he has the best game plan, prepared for me. So
Is
that's
he
why
going? Is he going with you to Singapore for the rest of for the end portion of the training camp?
Yes,
And then
he will.
and obviously he's going to be there to corner you then for the fight as well. I'm remiss. I'm sorry I didn't mention this earlier. For everybody at home, Angela's 5-0, but it's 5 submissions. It's not. Which leads me to my next question. Your boxing is outstanding. I've seen tons of footage on you. I've talked to other people. Oahu's a very small island, so it's very easy to get information on you without having to go too far. And your boxing is really, really good, but you don't ever get a chance to knock anybody out or knock them down because you're getting to a submission so quickly. Is obviously you have a passion for boxing, but it's not your forte. Like you really, really love the submission game. Is it when you spend, just break down a week of training for us, is it equal boxing and submission, or do you spend a little bit more time on submission, a little more time on boxing throughout the week, depending on the opponent?
Actually, my love for grappling and for submissions actually started when I was younger. There wasn't a lot of striking kickboxing tournaments, or fights that we could set up at the time. There was more grappling tournaments, and that's what I was entered into, and grappling with all the boys, and that's why I kind of, felt a lot more comfortable in that area for a long time. I've been able to, sharpen up my striking skills and enter in kickboxing and Muay Thai tournaments throughout the years, and it's something that I've grown to love as well, and so just making my MMA game that much more complete. But as for my fights, I try to finish it as fast as possible to take the least damage. And usually it ends up with me, coming off very aggressive, clinching, taking down, and looking for the sub as soon as possible. Girls, I'm not going to say never get the knockout, but, it's a bit harder, You gotta work for it, and you gotta put more on the line. Leave yourself exposed, and I feel like with the submissions, you take less damage, and you're making them voluntarily quit, so it's kind of cool.
Right. Yeah. Since you put it that way, yeah, it is pretty cool. So before I let you out of here, I want to talk real quick about your opponent, Mei Yamaguchi. She's 15-8-1. Obviously, got a ton more experience, a little bit older than you as well. But I got to think that you're pretty confident coming into this fight. You've seen tape on her? I'm assuming your dad, Kevin, has gone through all the tape with you and said, "Here's the game plan. Here's what's going to happen." In my opinion, from seeing your fights and seeing a few of her fights, you should be very confident coming into this fight, to this title fight. I just don't see. I only see a few ways that she could possibly win. One of them, you're going to have to slip on a banana peel. The other one, you're going to have to get caught with some lucky, weird, random swinging punch, which happens in any fight anyway. This stuff is always going to happen. I don't think she has the cardio shape to maintain with you if it goes deep into deep waters. Her submission game is not as good as yours when you add punching into it as well and striking into it. Then I think your submission game is much better. Am I missing something in this matchup? Am I missing something that you and your dad saw that makes her a little bit more dangerous? Because I really don't see her. I see the record, but I don't see her being that much of an opponent for you.
You know what? I think when it comes to Mei Yamaguchi, her greatest strength is she is a champion, and she knows what it takes to go into those championship rounds and to win. I think she's very durable. I think she's one of those girls that's just going to grind you out. That's going to exactly try and catch you with a lucky hand. And then when you're rocked on the ground, try and look for that sub. So we've been thinking about all possible angles that this fight could go wrong. And just preparing for that if it comes to that. However, I'm super confident in our game plan. We've covered all areas, and I think that Mei has never fought someone like me before. I think that the one championship rules are going to be a little difficult for her to adjust to, with the global MMA rule set.
Yep.
So yeah, I definitely see, I'm definitely confident going into this fight.
Yeah, as you should be. That's Angela Lee getting ready to fight Mei Yamaguchi. One championship 41, May 6th, Singapore. I think it's ONE FC, OneFC.com. You can watch it for those of us on the mainland in Hawaii. Can watch it live on ONE FC. I got to be honest with you. I don't usually put it in my calendar and schedule. I'm just kind of on my computer, and all of a sudden I get a tweet, "Hey, ONE FC's on live right now," and I just, "Oh yeah, that's right." And I go and I check in and go watch it. It's just okay. I'm in the middle of doing something else. Let me go check out ONE FC. you're on this
Yeah.
fight. I have it in my calendar. I've already got it locked in. Like I've got it set. I've got an alert an hour before to make sure if I'm out running errands and when I get home, that I got to get home to my computer and get it turned on. You've actually made me want to put this in my calendar and pay attention to it. I want to see how you're going to do in this fight. I want to see how you are as a champ. I want to see how you are as the media starts getting a hold of you and more interviews come along. And really, honestly, the first real interview I saw with you was Rob DeMello at Channel 2. He did just a couple of days ago here in Hawaii, and I was amazed at how well you were in the interview and doing the sequence and stuff, because usually at your age and your experience level, it should be a complete debacle and an absolute mess. I don't want to throw him underneath the bus, but Max Holloway, when he first started, you couldn't get the pigeon out of him. Like all he would do is speak pigeon in a regular interview, and you're like, no one else understood him. So it was like, it was very difficult. So there's a process with him.
It definitely takes some time. I think the interviews are the hardest part. I get really nervous. I get just as nervous as I am going into a fight.
Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. So next time I'll make the questions so much harder.
Oh, jeez.
Angela, thanks so much for coming on here. I really appreciate it. I know you just got done training. I want to let you out of here. Have a great rest of your training camp. Enjoy yourself, and I'll be at home watching on TV when you go in there and win again.
All right. Thank you, Frank. I really appreciate you having me.
Take care. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too.